नमो नमस्ते गुरवे महात्मने विमुक्तसंगाय सदुत्तमाय नित्याद्वयानन्दरसस्वरूपिणे भूम्ने सदा पारदयाम्बुधाम्ने नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य स्वाराज्यसाम्राज्यविभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते। हरि तत्सत्। जय गुरु। शांति मंत्र। ओम सहना भवतु
ओम सहना भवतु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
मा विद्विषावहै
मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
So we will move to the first Anuvaka of Brahmananda Valli. Just read it first. Brahmavid Om Brahmavid Aapnoti Param
Om Brahmavid Aapnoti Param
Tadeshabhyukta
Tadeshabhyukta
Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma
Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma
Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman
Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman
Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha
Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha
Brahmana vipaschiteti.
Brahmana vipaschiteti.
Now, in this first Anuvaka itself, there are quite a few summarizing notes. That is, right in the beginning, before presenting some tattva, I have told so many times that this is the practice of our Shastras, that they give a summary statement of what is going to happen, how it is to be gone into, and what will be the result. So that is, this Anuvaka is because of that. We will go deep into it. The first statement is Brahmavid Aapnoti Param. That means the knower of Brahman attains supreme. Param means supreme, Aapnoti means attains, and Brahmavid means who knows Brahman. The knower of Brahman attains supreme. Now this Brahmavid Aapnoti Param, I think this is our logo statement. This is considered as a Mahavakya, although it is not of the 4 Mahavakyas of the 4 Vedas we generally, that Shankaracharya has selected 4, but there are quite a few other Mahavakyas also which are equally important, or sometimes more important also we can say. They are all Mahavakyas, mean that the cardinal statements describing what is Brahman. For example, the 4 Mahavakyas, as you see in the slide number 4, the Mahavakyas belonging to the 4 Vedas, the first is I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. That means that this Atma, I am Atma means this Atma. As long as we are saying Tat, Tat, it is something away from us. When we are saying I am, that means it is near to us, it is what? This. So, this Atma is itself Brahman. I am Atma Brahma. Why? Because Atma, we have a rudimentary idea, we have the idea of I, everybody knows, but we think that the I is body-mind limited within the personality. So that I, the conception of the I has to undergo a change, so that finally we will know that that I is the substratum of the entire universe, that I is the only truth, on that I is the whole creation appearing to be. The truth is only that I. Then we say that I am Atma, which I have known as my Atma, that itself is the Brahman. This is from the Atharva Veda. The second one from Sama, it is not first, second, it can be given in different orders. Generally, if you consider the Rig Veda to be the oldest, then Prajnanam Brahma will come first. I have put it in a manner of some other conceptual subtlety, that I am Atma Brahma means this Atma is Brahman. It is not a direct statement of realization. The second one is from Samaveda, that is Tat Tvamasi. It is in Chandogya Upanishad, that the Guru is telling the Shishya that Tat Tvamasi, that you are. Tat means that, Tvam means you, Asi means you are. You are that. That means the Brahman is studied as the ultimate truth, as the substratum of the entire universe, as the consciousness, as the universal Atma, whatever. Saying that, the Guru is telling the disciple, but don't consider yourself to be small. You are that only, Tat Tvamasi. That Brahman which you are studying so long about Brahman, know that you are that. So this is Guru's statement, it is not the statement coming from the Shishya himself. Then comes the Yajurveda statement, which is there in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also. Earlier I have given all the source and where they are appearing in YouTube also. It should be there, I think. That is Aham Brahmasmi. This is very well known Mahavakya. I am Brahman. Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Brahma Asmi. It is a direct statement when the seeker or the disciple is realizing, the seeker is realizing the truth. After realizing, he said, oh, I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. This is the last word of Advaita, Advaya Jnana, the ultimate spiritual knowledge, that I am the Brahman. Brahman and the Atma, they are not different. Initially, we may practice looking within and have Atma Sakshatkara. Then we get stabilized in the Atma. But the sadhana will not be complete till we get settled in the universality of that Atma, that I am in everything and everything is in me. So this Aham Brahmasmi from the Yajurveda is the final statement there. Then comes the Rig Veda statement, Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. Pra represents in Sanskrit generally Prakrishta. Prajnanam Brahma. Generally by Jnanam, if you mean knowledge, then that knowledge is something different from the knower. If I know the camera, I don't become the camera. I am knowing the camera. If I know, even generally by reading the Shastras, I am reading about Atma, but that Atma remains different from me until we realize that that Atma which I have been reading about, that is myself. So, generally the knowledge is always different from the knower. Now, the spiritual knowledge differs in that. It is called non-dual knowledge. Non-dual knowledge means where the knower and the knowledge are the same, there is no difference. This is also explained as the Triputi, that it transcends the threefold division of knower, knowledge and the process of knowing. Knower, knowing, knowledge. All the three, they get merged in one, and that is the ultimate Advaya knowledge. We will come into it more and more. But this Prajnanam Brahma, it is the oldest. If Rig Veda is the oldest, there are a lot of difference of opinion, and we need not go into that. As such, they are prehistoric. So Prajnanam Brahma is a great statement that the ultimate substratum or the ultimate reality of creation, or whatever we say, the universe, is knowledge. Can you understand? In our country, this great statement has been made thousands of years ago, when there was no quantum mechanics or relativistic quantum dynamics, nothing like that was there. When we say now that actually the experimenter and the experiment, they are not different. In doing an experiment, we are interfering with the particles also. All these things come. And the ultimate reality also, finally we think in terms of some probabilistic, we say Schrödinger wave and all. I don't want to go into that. But it is not anything material. That is very apparent in scientific studies also. The material, gross material as we know, it is only an appearance for our own limited sensory perceptions. When we look into it, even scientifically also, all grossness goes. All the spatial constriction, temporal constriction, everything goes. So this Prajnanam Brahma, the ultimate reality, is the knowledge, is Prajnanam, is the Advaya knowledge. This is one of the greatest statements we have there. When we are saying Aham Brahmasmi, it is all Aham Brahma, it is all our experiential statement. But Prajnanam also is an experiential statement, but referring to it as Prajnanam, that is the ultimate. And that has been going on in our country from era to era with full conviction and experimental confirmation, which is something we should think about. It is not something which we can neglect. We should know where we are. In science, we have only two kinds of knowledge. One is called pratyaksha, that means the sensory perceptions. Prati aksha, pratyaksha means which is right before our aksha, our senses. But most of the knowledge are not pratyaksha. Most of the knowledge we find that what we are seeing with our perception is wrong. The truth is something different. So the second kind of knowledge is called inferential knowledge, or what is it called? Anumana. Anumana means inferential knowledge. Suppose even whatever I was saying about the scientific particle and all, nobody has seen any electron, proton, when of course now even further elementary particles are not particle at all. But even when we were having such a theory, particle and all, nobody had seen them directly with their eyes or with their perceptions. What they saw is something from which they deducted. They inferred that this particle must be having a positive charge, that particle which has gone this way must be having a negative charge, which has gone the other way may not have any of the charges, positive or negative. All these are inferences. Even the sun, when it comes up in the morning, is it not inferred? We are not seeing the direct sun. Actually, we start seeing the sun when it is at a different position. When we know the whole truth and analyze, we find that the rays are coming bent like this and that, and it is there. When we are seeing suppose we see water in very hot summer and all, mirage we say. It is by seeing the heat and the behavior of air and all, we are inferring that it appears to be water, so it may not be water. Everywhere it is inference. Even in our court also, in the Supreme Court, the judges, they don't go into the actual, they have not seen the criminal, nor do they have seen the victim. They are deciding on the basis of the arguments, on the basis of the evidences that are presented before them by the advocates. On that basis, the judge is making a judgment. These are all inference. Our everything is inference. We can think about it more and more and find out. So, in spirituality, we have one more knowledge, that is pratyaksha, anumana, and we have aparoksha. Pratyaksha, anumana is called paroksha. That means it is not directly seen by the eyes or so. It is inferred. So it is called anumana or paroksha. But in spirituality we have aparoksha. That means it is neither pratyaksha nor anumana. But why it is called aparoksha? Because it is of a different kind. That I am. Can you see that I, your consciousness, with any of your senses? You cannot see. If I, the existence of I is inferred from anything else, yes, therefore I exist. Does it have any meaning? If I prove that you don't exist, are you going to accept it? Nobody will accept it. So it is neither a direct perception nor an inference. It's a direct knowledge for us that I know I am. That amness is a direct knowledge. Although we don't call it aparoksha, only in the analyzing our spiritual self-knowledge we come to that. But this is also aparoksha, that we know, I know that I am. Now, if that taken to the experimental level, experiential level, then when we come to know who am I, that is also an aparoksha knowledge. Because who is knowing the I, the real I? The real I is knowing the real I. If there is any other I who is knowing the Atma, then the who is knowing the Atma is the real Atma, not the seen Atma. The real subject is not the seen, it is always the subject. So, this aparoksha, that is called the aparoksha or the advaya knowledge it is called, because at that point it is no more the knower is having the knowledge. The knower and the known and the knowledge, everything is fused together. It's a revelation taking place in oneself. That is the way the self is known. So when Rigveda is saying Prajnanam Brahma, they are referring to this knowledge which is revealed to the seeker, to the sadhak, as when there is nothing else, when there is even the subject-object division is not there. There is no subject, no object, nothing. Only the truth alone exists. The consciousness is experienced there. Now, the next slide. So then this tat esha abhyukta, towards this, about this, after making this Mahavakya, they are saying there are mantras explaining this, about this. What are the mantras? Here, in this mantra, it is followed by 3 statements. The first statement is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. You see in the slide I have given, the number 1 is 3 aspects of the Brahman. Whether you call it aspects, you call characteristics, you call parameters, whatever you call it is not fully correct, but this is what represents Brahman, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That means Brahma is represented by its 3 aspects. What are the aspects? Satyam, one is the truth, Jnanam, knowledge or consciousness, and Anantam means infinitude. These 3 together represent Brahman, the ultimate truth. We will go into the detail in the next part. The second statement says, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. That means is talking about that how this Brahman can be known. First is that what is the Brahman, what is its definition, what are its parameters or what are its characteristics. Then in the second one-line mantra, it is saying that how the Brahman has to be known, where it has to be known, where we should focus. He says, Yo Veda, one who knows this as Nihitam Guhayam, hidden in the cavern, in the cave, of what we generally refer to Buddhi Guha and Hrit Guha. I will explain all these things. Parame Vyoman, which is called the huge Akasha, unlimited, infinite Akasha. But this Param Akasha is different from the space, physical space Akasha, because this Akasha is conscious Akasha. So that is there, they are saying how this Brahman has to be known. And the number 3 is result, that is gain, or it is called Phalashruti. In our Shastras it is called Phalashruti. Saha ashnute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschita iti. Saha ashnute sarvan kaman saha. So one who has realized the Brahman, he becomes fulfilled, with all the kamas fulfilled, all the desires become fulfilled. So it is often spoken of as, they are always giving this kind of Phalashruti expressed in a multiple manner, so that people are attracted. When we are studying when we are starting our sadhana, still our mind looks for sukha, looks for ananda, looks for some fulfillment of desires, all these are there. So when they say that all the desires will be fulfilled, then people will be attracted to that. So Falashrutis will be like that. But in truth it is absolutely true, but not in the manner generally people will think. That, oh, then all my desires will be fulfilled. I will have a big palatial building, my son will get employed in Apple or this or that, the highest position, CEO here, there, everything will be fulfilled. No, it is not like that. Any worldly desire is fulfilled in a krama, means one by one. Worldly desires that you attempt to fulfill it, you try to fulfill it, and when you get whatever you have attempted, it becomes fulfilled. That desire gets fulfilled. Then you have another desire, you fulfill it. But you never become fulfilled by that, because one desire goes, another desire comes. In this case, they are saying saha. Saha means all the desires get fulfilled together. What is this fulfilling together? What happens is actually all the desires get completely dissolved. And because of that, we get great joy. So what is the result of fulfilling our desires? Any desire we fulfill, we get joy. Why are we trying to fulfill our desire? Because we get joy if the desire is fulfilled. Suppose you want a building. When the building is initially had, you will feel very happy. Whatever we do, we want to become happy by doing and getting the objective result of that. The objective result will make me happy. This is the attraction for doing that work. But with the spiritual practice, when we cultivate our viveka buddhi, the discriminatory power, we analyze each event of our life and we find that right from the beginning, man has been trying to get this or that one after another. He has never become fulfilled by fulfilling any of his desire. Not only that, suppose that in childhood, as a baby, he was asking for some fruit or some toy or something. When he grows, he wants to wants to play, maybe. So at that time, the toy is forgotten, something else he wants. So whatever he had desired at that time, it is not there. Another desire has come. Then as he grows, maybe he wants to have a first rank in class or have a very good job. When he gets a very good job, he starts getting tense. He says that I am getting burnt out. That means whatever he desired, he has got. But he doesn't want it. So it goes on changing. So we should analyze it properly. If suppose anybody becomes fulfilled by getting money, then more and more money means more and more happiness. Are the richest people in the world happy, or they are more unhappy than others? If power means happiness, then are the most powerful people happy? It's not like that. So we should analyze and see that where lies happiness. We are thinking that some attainment will make me happy. Now when we are attaining that, we are becoming happy, okay. But what has happened to that desire? The desire has got, when the result is had, the desire is no more there. Suppose he wanted a job, the desire for that job is gone, it has got dissolved. So the desire is no more there. So when you are getting it, you are happy. It is not because of the object you have got, but because the desire has got dissolved that we feel the joy. So if we analyze our life, anybody will know that it is not the fulfillment of the desires that make us happy. It is the dissolution of the desire that makes us happy. Not only that, the moment one fulfillment comes, then the mind will again get disturbed by many other things. Another new desire will come, or we will be fearful about losing what we have got. When you have got something very valuable, the fear will make your mind again agitated, again the asukha will be there, sukha will not be there, joy will not be there, because you will be afraid of losing it. Or some other desire will come and occupy your mind. So when we understand these things, we understand that desire is actually a hindrance on the way to happiness. People think that it is the desire fulfillment which is making us happy. It is not so. Desire is the hindrance on the path of our everlasting happiness, eternal happiness. If we can dissolve all the desires, then we will be always happy right from the beginning. You don't have to do anything to become happy. You will do out of happiness, because you will always remain happy and you will go on doing whatever you are doing. So you will do out of happiness, not for gaining happiness, by gaining the objective result of what you are doing. Whatever objective result come, they will come. So these things we have to meditate, think, contemplate well, and by thinking, even if you understand, it will not go. That is why in the Shanti mantra they said, Tejasvinau adhitam astu. Whatever we have studied, may it become Tejasvi. So when we understand something with our Viveka Buddhi, if you don't practice it in life, you don't bring it in life, then that learning will not become Tejasvi. Suppose in one place, at least in one case, you apply it, whatever you have thought about, whatever you have found out, and you find how the joy dawns in you, or the joy wells forth from your own self, when you dissolve the desire rather than cultivating the desire. Then we will know that how it makes us always happy. Then one after another all desires we can dissolve. So the fundamental point here is to know that it is not the fulfillment of the desire that makes us happy, but the elimination of the desires that makes us happy. Another point is that the desire do not make us happy. They are obstruction, they are hindrance to our happiness. Because where from the happiness is coming? Happiness is from within, is it not? Is it coming from outside? Suppose I always give the example, you have gone to a beautiful place where beautiful scenery, say a huge ocean is there, always which is beautiful. You are standing there, oh, such vast, limitless, unbounded ocean. You feel so much of fulfillment, joy. Immediately, suppose news comes that you have lost your job. Pop. The whole mind collapses. What happened? The ocean is still in front. Whatever you saw and you became happy, it is still in front. So the joy was not coming from the ocean. Joy was from within your mind, which is not coming now because your mind has become focused on you have lost your job. So the joy is not there. So the joy is a self-coordinate of the Atma. It is a property, it's a parameter of our self. It is always welling forth. But because our mind remains constricted, always looking for small, small gains and fearful about small, small losses, we are not feeling that joy. The moment seeing the ocean, you forgot about your small, small problems anywhere in the family or world. For the time you had forgotten those things, you became joyous. If you stay on the sea beach for 7 days also, you will again start fighting with your partner or anything. It's very well known. After 1 month, you will not look at the sea, you will do something else. So it is not coming from the sea. We have to analyze these things and understand and apply in our case. Then where from the joy is coming? So our Atma, it is called that the Brahman you call, or self you call, or the Atma, the consciousness, it is always calling us back that, oh my child, how long will you run after things that is not going to make you fulfilled? Come back to my lap. You will be automatically, naturally happy. Why don't you come back to my lap? But we don't listen. We are all naughty children. So we continue running after things throughout our life. So what happens is that two things happen here. One is that by the dissolution of the desires, your all desires become fulfilled because you become joyous. The fulfillment of the desire, you are wanting to become joyous. In this case, you are becoming joyous because of the dissolution of the desires. Another meaning of saha is that all that sarvan kaman, they have said, sarvan kaman ashnute, sarvan kaman saha ashnute. All the desires are fulfilled together. How? Because when you are expanding to the level of Brahman, when your mind expands to infinitude and you vibrate in tune with nature, in tune with Brahman, then your Atma has spread everywhere. So when you are aware of your oneness with everything, then will there be small desires, anything? You have become unified. Everywhere it is unified. So all the desires will go together. Everything will get dissolved together. You see, in one sentence, so many things they say. Saha ashnute sarvan kaman saha. How? Brahmana vipasthita iti. By becoming Brahman, Brahmana, so it's a Tritiya Vibhakti. Brahmana. By becoming Brahman, Brahman means what? Infinitude. The Brihma, the Brahman word has come from Brihat. Not only Brihat, from expansion. So the Brahman word means expansion. So by Brahman means you have become one, you have got merged in the oneness, you have become everything. By becoming that, and vipasthita iti. This vip, the word vip, in Sanskrit, the origin, the vip is like our bip, bip, bip. We get in the machine, in the medical machine also bips. The vip word, the dhatu root, it means spandana, it means vibration, the spandan. Vipasthita means one who is aware of the spandan of Brahman inside. He is vibrating in tune with the whole creation. His mind is in tune with the whole creation. What is the creation doing? Creation is a vibration, it's a spandana. So his mind, when becoming huge, his mind transcending all bondages, all constrictions, becoming huge, it starts pulsating with the creation. That makes him fulfilled. That makes him all sarvan kaman saha ashnute. I thought of going into it one by one, but this somehow, okay. Next slide, 6. Now here, I have, in the previous slide, we have done the 3 sentences. The first one was 3 aspects of Brahman. Second one was how to discover Brahman, where to discover Brahman, where it is and how. The third one was the gain or phalashruti, or result of realizing Brahman. Now we are taking up the first one, that is 3 aspects of Brahman. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Now each word we have to understand. Why do they give? We have to contemplate, we have to meditate on each aspect, whatever is spoken of here. so that our mind is taken to the real, otherwise we will be left out with some constricted concept, wrong concept. To correct that is the study of the Shastras are necessary to free the mind of all constrictions. It is not that we know Brahman from the Shastras. The Shastras, by constantly contemplating on the truths discussed in the Shastras, our mind gets rid of all its constrictions. Then the truth, whatever is there, it is already there, everybody is that, so the truth becomes revealed, that's all. So here this Satyam, it means truth. Truth in our Shastra means which never changes. Never changes means naturally it transcends time and space. Suppose something is true here, the clock is here and the clock is not there. The next day I don't find the clock there. So it is not everywhere. We don't consider that to be the truth. They are all under the temporary, evanescent. In creation, nothing can be permanent, nothing can be eternal, nothing can be immortal. Whenever in Shastras we are speaking about immortality or Ananta, infinitude, let us be sure that we are not speaking about anything available in the whole creation. Because creation means it has started, it has got a birth, it is changing, undergoing a change, and one day it will die. So changefulness is the very basis of creation. That is why in Sanskrit it is called Jagat and Samsara. Jagat means Gacchati iti Jagat, it is always moving. Samsara means Samyak Sarati. That means the very basis is drifting, moving. That is what the creation is. So anything like eternal, immortal, truth, it cannot be anything in the created universe. It is the substratum, the revealer consciousness on which the whole creation is appearing to be. The creation is only appearance which is changing. But the unchanging canvas, the unchanging substratum is the jnana, the consciousness, the Atma, the Brahman. So when we are saying Satya, it means it has to transcend both time, space, whatever we have in creation. Then comes Jnanam. So the Brahman is such a truth which never changes. Even when, why? Because how do we know? Even when we are asleep, that we don't know anything, need not be asleep. Suppose we have fallen unconscious because of something. We don't know anything. There is no signal, no world signals, no perception, nothing. But that vacuum, that shunyata, we come to know. When we are getting back our consciousness, our awareness, we say that I did not know anything. That means that zero state, the no signal state also was revealed. Otherwise he would not have known that there was something missing in between. We come to know that how long we cannot say, because no time was there at that moment, in that period. But we will know that there is a gap in between, singularity in between. That we will know. So, the I, we cannot have any experience where the I is not there. Even in dream, the first thing you have is your I. You have created a new body in dream. You have created a new mind, maybe new personality in dream. But when you are seeing the dream, whatever you are seeing, it's all created by you, but the I is there on which the creation is taking place. In case of a dream, it is very simple, because when you get up, you can easily analyze and know that, well, there was nothing. So it is all happening in my mind. It all took place, whatever aircrafts I saw, whatever war was going on, it was all happening in my consciousness or in my mind. In the case of the whole world, in our wakefulness also, everything is changeful, everything is going on. But we find it difficult to trace that it is the same consciousness on which the whole play is going on. Like on the cinema, on the screen, so many things are happening. War is taking place, so many stories are taking place, but moment the light goes, push, nothing. It's the screen only. Nothing has happened to the screen. No change is taking place. Like that, this whole game goes on in the consciousness. And Satyam is only that substratum that on which all the changeful things are taking place. So this is one characteristic, or better, one aspect of Brahman, that it never changes. Without this revelatory power, we cannot know anything, we cannot experience anything, we cannot see anything or perceive anything. So it is always there in the same manner. My body has undergone change, my mind has undergone change, my intelligence have undergone change. But where is the change taking place? Because that I has not changed, I am able to see all the changes. If the I also had undergone changes, we would not have known. So the next thing is, the next aspect of Brahman is that it is not an objective something, it is not inert something, it is Jnanam. Jnanam means not inert knowledge we take from the books and all. Here Jnanam, I have already explained that it means the revealer consciousness, the Advaya Jnanam, where knower, knowledge, everything has got merged into the consciousness, into the revealer. So the subject-object has also got fused. Normally, I am seeing the world is the object and I am the subject. But when I understand that the whole world is appearing in that I only, in me only, in that consciousness only, that I remains, which includes the whole world, including my own body, mind, personality also. So this Jnanam aspect will always caution us. What caution? Suppose you are meditating, you are trying to realize the self. What we will do? We will look for the self. You should understand that it cannot be that I am seeing the self. That means the self is jada. It is an object before me. We should never try to make the self an object. So this is a caution given, that the second aspect of Brahman is that it is consciousness. It's a conscious space that is talking about. So I should never try to see it as an object before me. If I am seeing the object, that I is the consciousness. That is the Brahman. What I am seeing, it cannot be the Brahman. So we should never try to realize the self or Brahman as something like the universe I am seeing. The correction there is no, it is the revealer. So I should not look for anything. Even to think about anything. We have to completely surrender all our effortfulness to discover. Then only it will reveal. So here this Jnanam means it is non-dual knowledge, where subject and object. Non-dual means even the subject-object duality is not there. They have got fused. So the character of I, it's not inert. If the computer knows everything, the artificial intelligence, it can do many things, manipulate many things, much more than what a human being can do. But the fact remains that whatever we are using, he doesn't know himself. He doesn't know whether he is doing and what he is doing. It's all we are knowing what the artificial intelligence is doing, because it's made by us. So this is this non-dual knowledge. We should always remember that the first aspect is non-changing, The second aspect is it is in the form of consciousness. It can never be inert or in the form of an object. It cannot be in the objectude. Third is Anantam, infinite, undivided. Actually, Anantam also means it is infinitude, where there is no boundary, no division, no fragmentation at all. The normal space when we see, it is not Ananta, it is infinity, physical infinity, objective infinity. But I am who is thinking about the space, space is an object before me. The subject-object duality is still there, it's an object. So it's not the real infinity. The real infinitude when the subject-object also is not there. They are also not there. They have got fused. So there cannot be any conceptual infinitude there. He will simply get merged in it. It will be revealed. That's all. So in the slide I have written, compare with Satchid Ananda, usual three aspects of Brahman. This generally that Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. This is also sung in, it's a very popular statement being used in chanting and all. But the more popular I think is Satchidananda. Everybody knows as Satchidananda. So I thought that you should compare the two because it is the same. Satchidananda, when we are singing, actually we are singing Sat, Chit, Ananda. Now Sat means again the Satyam, the same existence. Chit means they are again cautioning us. Chit means the knowledge, means the consciousness. It is in the form, it's in the nature of revelation, which reveals. It's not in the nature of an object. The Chit is always a revealer. It is never it is revealing all the objects, but it by itself it is not an object. Sat, Chit and Ananda. Now here they have Ananta is replaced by Ananda. Satchidananda, and there it is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Now we find that this Taittiriya Upanishad is called Brahmananda Valli. So here they are giving Ananda great prominence. But in Shankaracharya's case, wherever Mahavakya and whatever he has chosen, he had found a great mischief with the sadhakas. What is that? Whatever they look for happiness, they look for Ananda. So if we write in the beginning, if you say that it is Satchidananda, then you will be very much attracted. That is what happens. The whole world is attracted hearing about Satchidananda, Satchidananda. They will get, singing, get lost in it. What is that? Satchidananda. You always think you are sleeping. Satchidananda, Satchidananda, we sing and dance and all, thinking that it's the great Brahmananda. But we will miss the Ananda there. If we look for Ananda, say in meditation. In meditation, if you are doing it properly, and one day you have, at least near to Samadhi, some experience you have, and you get great Ananda, as if the Ananda has flooded you, the whole universe is Ananda, everywhere it is Ananda. Now, that day the meditation is over, you come back. Next day you will get trapped by that Ananda. Again you will look for that Ananda. And normally when you are looking for that Ananda, you will never get it. Because your desire for that Ananda is making your mind small, constricted. And normally you won't get it. First day how did you get? Because of some bhava of surrender or surrender to the Guru or something happened, that your mind became free and it simply dawned. But because you are getting attracted by that sukha, you will run after that and you won't get, it will be initially a viraha. Viraha means you will miss it, you will miss it, you will miss it. How many days you will miss it? Finally you will stop meditating. Finally you will get absorbed in the world again, worldliness, and be fulfilled also, be complacent also, though I have got that great experience. Live with that experience. No spiritual growth will take place further. These are the troubles. So, what he did is that he took up the Ananta more. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Ananta, the matter is that Ananta is emphasizing your expansion. When the mind becomes Akhanda, Ananta, the mind becomes expansive, embracing everything, automatically Ananda will come. You don't have to look for Ananda. So there is a great meaning in selecting the Ananta as the last. That Ananta, when your mind is given to that expansion, when you are lost in the Ananta, infinitude, automatically the joy, the Ananda will flow. You will be lost in Ananda also. And even if it is not there, it doesn't matter. Sometime it will be, but the general relief, the freedom will always be there when the mind is free. So this Satchitananda, this is the intricate point here, that generally Ananda will be attracting the seekers to pursue it. But at the same time, there is a trap also. We should not get trapped by that. Knowing that infinitude and expansion itself is fulfilling, joyous, we should pursue the Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Then Ananda, Brahmananda will automatically come. Maybe that is the reason in Brahmananda Valli they have taken this statement. This is the first, the three aspects of Brahman. I think all of you must have forgotten now. We started with in the slide, just show the slide number 5 once again, the contemplation. Tadesha Abhyukta. About this, there are mantras, three aspects of Brahman: Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That Satya, Jnana, Ananta, all we have done now. Now we are going over to the second statement. How to discover Brahman? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. So this slide is slide number 7. Slide number 7. How and where to look for, how to realize Brahman, the sadhana. Yo Veda, one who knows, as Nihitam Guhayam, hidden in the cavern. Now, Guha is very, very widely used in our Shastras. Generally it is used as Buddhi Guha, and it is also used as Hrid Guha. Both are same, but we can perhaps look at it in two different manner also. Generally, Hrid refers to our emotional being. That is the heart, we say. Hrid here. When somebody says that, did you do it? No, I have not done it. We don't say, no, I have not done it. Do you say? We don't say like that. But, so generally, Hrid Guha is our I. I is hidden in the Hrid Guha, our emotional cavern there. But what happens when you try to follow to discover the I or the Brahman by Viveka Buddhi, that is removing one after another shell. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the emotions, all I am only seeing. Body I am seeing, the mind I am knowing, the thoughts I am knowing, the emotions I am knowing, intelligence I am knowing. It was very sharp yesterday, today it has become dull. All these changes I am knowing. Then who is this I? Who is this I who is knowing the mind, all the thoughts? What will happen is that you are looking for the I who is the revealer, and there you are not thinking of the heart. Are you not going into the buddhi? So through buddhi guha also we reach the same I as we reach through the emotional heart. So these two are used everywhere. Hrid guha is used, buddhi guha is used, both mean the same. In some cases, as here, it is just used guhayam. Guhayam means it is hidden. Otherwise all of us would have known. How is it that we are not knowing? It must be hidden. And where it is hidden? He says that parame vyoman. That is coming later. First of all, it is guhayam, means hidden in the hrid guha or buddhi guha. That means normally our intellect, whatever we are using, that intellect also is an object. The mind is an object for the I. The I is the revealer of the mind. It is revealing all the thoughts. I is the revealer of the intellect. So what is that I? The revealer. When we look, don't we have to cross over all the shells of intelligence, mind, emotions, everything. So that is why it is hidden in the hrid guha or buddhi guha. But when we reach there, then what happens is a great mystery. Parame vyoman. See, initially the self is, the Brahman is everywhere. In the whole creation you will not find anywhere Brahman is missing. You cannot, because the whole creation is appearing in Brahman. Now Brahman is everywhere. But can you find Brahman by going to the Mars or even to the camera or in the outside air? You cannot locate Brahman anywhere at all. So to locate the Brahman, to know the Brahman, to experience the Brahman, you have to look within. That is the first point. That is the sadhana part. It is not that Brahman is only there in your within, in your heart or in your buddhi and nowhere else. It's not like that. It is, everything is appearing in Brahman. It is all, pervading is not the correct word. Everything is appearing in it. It is all containing. But at the same time, to experience the Brahman, you have to experience it as your feeling of I, that is within you. So initially we have to withdraw from the parak drishti. Parak means the outgoing drishti. Our outgoing vision has to be reversed and we have to replace with pratyak drishti. That means reverse of outgoing, inward going. We have to look inward. But when we reach that point, it is the param vyoma. It is the supreme sky. It is not the physical sky. It is the supreme sky where there is no difference of anything, no limitation of anything, but it is in the form of a conscious space. It's only a chidakasha. We discovered that it is the chidakasha. So it's a great discovery because initially you are looking within, but when you are successful in looking within and reaching that point, then there is no within without anything at all. There is no within without. There is no subject-object. It is all Brahman and Brahman alone. And mind you, it is the conscious space. That's the param vyoma, where they are saying parame vyoman in that. It is not an ordinary physical space, but it's a conscious space. That consciousness will be felt. So here I have written, Brahman is infinite, but we can experience it only within. It I have used capital. As the supreme space hidden in Hrid Guha or Buddhi Guha. It is the supreme space, Paramyoma. But it is also conscious space. It is not an object, not an inert space. Our normal space, physical space, is inert. Paramyoma, or the supreme space, is not a physical object space, but conscious space called self or chit. Next slide. So this is how in the seventh one, that how to realize Brahman, or how and where to look for. Looking for, we have to look within. We have to go beyond all the concept of our body, mind, intelligence, personality, everything. Surpassing everything, we will try to look for it, and there we will get stuck by this subject-object problem, because we are trying to look for something. This very effort is self-defeating. If you are looking for something, the Brahman is never going to be found as something you are looking at. It can be only appearing as yourself. But because you are trying to look it as different from yourself, as something else you are looking for, you are separating the Brahman from the real self. You are making it an object. You are objectivizing the subject, whatever way you can express. This object concept, if it holds on to your mind, you won't be able to become successful. You will not be able to. So we have to get rid of that, which can be done very well and easily only by surrender to the Guru. Simply leave all the effort, become effortless. No effort, because the effort itself is segregating you, is causing the split, subject-object split. When we renounce all effort, surrender all effort, we relax, then it reveals. And this revelation is not an objective revelation like that. It's a revelation by the revealer itself. That is the greatest block for most of the sadhak. Now let us go to the third one, that is the eighth slide number 8. Result, gain, or phalashruti. This I have told you in the beginning itself. Just read it. So saha ashnute. So ashnute means saha ashnute. Means he gains, he eats, he gets. Sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipashchita iti. Vipashchite iti. He enjoys all the desires together by attaining Brahman and vibrating or pulsating in tune with Brahman. See, both are the terms for Brahman. Brahman is called Vipashchit. Na jayate na mriyate va vipashchit. In Bhagavad Gita it is na jayate mriyate va kadachit. About Atma is there. The same shloka in Kathopanishad it is na jayate na mriyate va vipashchit. Vipashchit means Brahman. Vipashchit means a jnani, a knower, who has identified with the Brahman. Vipashchit means one who is vibrating or pulsating in tune with the merger with the Brahman. He has identified Sayujya, he has identified with the Brahman, and all the mind, the intelligence, everything is pulsating with the identity. So that is why he is called Vipashchit. These enjoyments are not one after another. That is, all the kamas are fulfilled, the objective kamas as they are fulfilled, they are different, they are fragmented, they are one by one. Your kamas will be fulfilled. Here, these enjoyments are not one after another, as in material enjoyments. Being aware of the oneness, all desires fall. One becomes fulfilled. And also the desires become redundant. There is no question of any desire. So all desires will fall. Let us stop here. I think again next Tuesday I will not be there, perhaps. Okay, Shanti Mantra, let us do. Om Sahana Vavatu.
Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Sahanau Bhunaktu.
Sahanau Bhunaktu.
Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Tejasvinavadhitamastu.
Tejasvinavadhitamastu.
Ma vidvishavahai.
Ma vidvishavahai.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.